This is a video you guys are going to watch. We're going to get into the 5-packs, but I've got some unique stories to tell with a couple of these castings. It is Matchbox rare model, unique model story time, so stick around. You're going to like this video. Hello everybody, this is a Lamley showcase. Stick around for this one, this will be good. 3 5-packs I'm going to open. I think they're all significant. We got the 20th anniversary set, the Tesla set, so Matchbox is leaning into Tesla. So we're going to open that one up very quickly. I've got the Japan Cruiser set that just came out, or not just came out, has actually been out for a couple of months. Haven't opened that one up, but there's some really good ones there, so I want to get that one open. And then I'm going to culminate with this fantastic Autobahn Express set, which I'm really fond of, just came out. And as we go, we're going to be doing some, well, just stick around. Do not leave anywhere because we're going to dive into this casting, and actually one other one, which is kind of cool. So let's get right to it. I got my Teslas here. This is not everything, but that Matchbox does. They've done every model, I think, with the exception of the very first Roadster and the Cybertruck, of course. And I've got I think every representation of the castings that are out. The new 3 I have with my new castings. I haven't put that on. We're going to see that in the 5-pack anyway. But we have the first Model S, the one with the, I don't want to knock it over, the one with the oval grill. They did a few colors. And like I said, it's not every, I don't think that's every color. Maybe it is. There was 4. Then they switched to the non-oval grill updated version. That came out like last year. There's a red version this year I don't have in here. They had the opening doors Model X. Then they just did the non-opening doors, which is a better proportion, better looking model. There's a black version of that one. This is the Model Y, I believe. This is the Roadster. Got several of those. They have the opening door, and then there's the 3 with the opening door as well. We'll go through these quickly. I know there's always like kind of mixed opinions about Teslas, but or EVs in general. But I think, you know, Matchbox needs to do cars that are on the road, and there are a billion Teslas on the road. They're everywhere. So I really, like, opinion or not, like, I love that Matchbox does a lot of these cars that that just you see, and whether you have, you know, like whether they're double take cars or cars you don't even think about. I actually love that Matchbox does this. Now these 5-packs they do. I'll put this like this so we can kind of see what they are. This is they're kind of playing into that EV theme, right? They're doing these recyclable materials in these EV packs. They've done several EV packs, and obviously the Tesla is one of them. So we're going to put this down here. By the way, I'm filming this vertically because 5-packs are vertical, and it's a whole lot easier to do. I hope that's okay. It's going to be a little better on your phone or iPad watching this, right? All right, I'm going to put these on the turntable very, very quickly. This is that updated. There's a red version, but I don't know if this is like the basic one that just came out. I don't remember if that one. This has the darker rims on it. That one's very, very cool. I'll just put them off to the side. We'll just show them very quickly. This is the Model 3 that has already been out in basic. So they do some repeats, and that's that one. Those first 2 might be repeats. The Roadster, I don't think we've seen in this blue color. The Roadster casting is fantastic. It's a cool looking car. And I think Matchbox, well, they did a much, much better version than Hot Wheels did on theirs, is my opinion. But that Roadster I can actually just kind of put right there because I think that one's fantastic. This is the Model X. 3rd color, I believe, of the Model X in the non-opening doors. There might have been another one in there. You get so mixed up with these reds and whites and everything else. But there's the black one. I can put that one there. And then here's the Model Y. And I don't know, that might be the 3rd or 4th color of that one. I'm not entirely sure. We've already had gray, but now we have the dark rims versus the chrome rims. And so there we go. Those are the Teslas. I went through them. You saw them. I think it's a cool pack, and any car maker, you know, I've talked enough about those. Okay, so those are the Teslas. You notice down below there's Toyotas, and so it kind of makes sense if we want to do this is to just give this one a close. I collect my Matchbox in alphabetical order, and we could just turn the case around. We're going TE from Tesla to TO in Toyota. And I'm going to be doing an organization of this collection, but you can see I have one spot for a 4Runner, so it makes sense to add the 4Runner from the Japan Cruisers 5-pack. So we're gonna open this one up and start with that. So let's go ahead and open it up. There's the side. You've got all these officially licensed. Subaru doesn't care if they, it looks like all the others have their logos. Type R, that classic egg Type R gets the artwork for this case. Okay, some open cleaner than others, but there's Edith. Don't even need to keep that back around for reference because it's ripped up. But I know these cars. But we're going to start with the Toyota 4Runner. I don't have all of the 4Runners here. There are quite a few that have been released, and I kept the ones that I liked the best. There's one that I think I'm missing that has TRD colors that I'd like to add, and I don't, it's somewhere. But I am definitely going to add this one. I'll put it on the turntable with the Matchbox Japanese logo on it. And 4Runners from this is the 85 4Runner, right? 4Runners from this era have that Toyota striping on it, and that's what I love. So the Toyota 4Runners that I've kept have that, I don't know whether that it's actually factory stripes that Toyota did, but a lot of the 4Runners got these special stripes. And so I've always liked to keep those from the set. So this one kind of fits into that. All right, let's move on to the others, but let's switch up a little bit. We're going Nissan. We're going to feature that last Nissan Skyline, but first let's put these on the turntable. This Mazda is fantastic. 2019 Mazda 3, white with black rims, looks the best. It'll never look better. This, if I keep one in the collection, this is the one that's going in. We've had black, blue and red, but this white with black rims just feels right, feels cool, feels sportier than the other ones. So I'm way into that one. I'm just going to put that one off to the side. Thought about featuring this one, the Subaru. I think this Subaru Impreza, it goes back, it's been modified a little bit. The light has been modified, but it goes back all the way, I think, to 2008. But this one in the police livery looks fantastic. So it's done in very police, and I have a bunch of these. I thought about doing this feature. Maybe I'll do it one of these other days, or I'll do some pictures of that one along with the other Subarus. I think that's a really, really cool casting, and love that. And then the other one I thought about featuring was this, the Egg Type R. Really, really cool casting. This is a Rio Sada design, as is the Subaru. Love the detailing on this one from the front and the back. It's a really cool looking car, and I think there's kind of mixed among the Type R aficionados. There's some mixed feelings about this car itself, but this one with the right-hand drive in this pink, it's just so cool. And there's some really cool versions of this one, and I'll do a review of this. I don't have all the versions of this casting. I got rid of some. But I'll definitely add that one. I'll do some pictures on that one. That one is really cool. But let's talk about the Skyline. I'll put this one on the turntable first, and then we can walk through this one. So the Skyline, the casting's a little too small. They did the stock version. I like that they did the side mirrors on the hood, the Japanese side mirrors. The wheels on this are okay. The Japanese nostalgic car, it's great to see the JNC deco being done here. We've seen that a couple times on this casting. We'll add that to the list. I think these are all the Skylines. And we can walk through these really quickly. The very first edition, but I like to show these. So it is a cool casting, like I said, a little on the small side. I think if they redid it, they'd do it a little bit bigger. But there's some nice details on this one. Silver was the first one. And the cool thing that I like to tell the story, because if you notice here that I have two, and so I'll show you on the back of this one. I'll see if I can get up close. It's a little hard because of the shadows here, but it says 1971 on the back. I've told this story before, but they sent me a preview model to show, and so you can see it has the FEP on it. I was so much interested in this casting because this was like Matchbox's like first foray into like true JDM. But if you look at the back here, and I'll put it up close here, see if I can do it in the light. It says GTR on the back license plate. Well, those of us who know, and most of us do now, this is not a GTR, right? This is a stock version. This is the factory version of the sedan, or of the two-door coupe. But the GTR had different modifications to it as the Hakosuka GTR. So the story is that when they got the samples of this one, they were showing it to some of the other designers, Ryo Asada being one. He was over on the Hot Wheels side. And he came running over and said, hey, looks good, but there's one big mistake. This is not a GTR. You've got to change that license plate, or you will have the car aficionados, the JDM fans will be all over you for this. And so they changed it. But I got this sample to show, and I've been able to keep it, and it's a treasured model in my collection, is that GTR version. Since then, I'll go through these quickly because we got the other pack to do. The blue Skyline, then it was orange. I can show you the orange version. Actually, I'll actually just show you this one. This one was done for JCCS. A few years ago, they added some trim to it. It was the same, this was a 9-pack exclusive. They just added some trim to it to make it it was a special car at JCCS. This was the Gathering exclusive. There's a second version with the logo on the hood. But this one with actually Hot Wheels Real Riders, and there were 2 versions of that. I have one in the acrylic case. This was in the collector version with the nostalgic car deco on it. That one was kind of nice. And then we had these. I'm not even gonna entertain them on the turntable. They ain't great, but in terms of the decos. But this one is better. The Ambassador version, I like it as kind of a classic rally, almost deco. But this is a nice little collection. All right, let's move on to the Autobahn set. All right, we've got the Alfa Romeos. We're going to get to the Porsches too, but you're going to like this story. This is a unique Matchbox story. I've told it before, but I'm going to tell it now, and I think you're going to find it fascinating. This is the pack. Clearly something has changed for those that know this story with the Alfa Romeo, but we'll get to that in just a second. Autobahn Express 5, very cool 5-pack. These are the models. What model gets the artwork? The Fiat. And you know what? The Fiat deserves it. This is a cool looking version of the Fiat. All right, let's see if I can open this one up a little bit better. The answer is no. Let's see if I can get these out. This pack is just hitting, and Matchbox sent this one over. All right, let's talk about the models first. We'll get to the final 2, and then we'll talk about the Alfa Romeo, and we'll finish off with the Porsche. This is the Volkswagen Transport Crew Cab. Nice to see all the detail in this one. It doesn't get into the back, but it did get the front grille done. This is road service, kind of a Volkswagen service. I like it. I like it. This one, and you also, I don't know if you know this about this casting, but there are some modifications in the interior and the bed that they've done. So if you're a completist, and I don't have another version of this one, but you'll want to look, and I don't know if it might be hard to look in the 5-pack, but this one has the wheel and the chain, and I think the other one is totally empty. So there will be 2 versions of this casting with the different beds. This one has the equipment in it. So I'm going to add that one. I think that one's really cool. Put that one right there. Let's talk about the Fiat. I love the colors on this one with the black rims. I just think that, it's not a casting that people are going to get too excited about, but this one has a really sporty, very, very cool color to it. So I'm really digging this one. I think it's, again, I like the Mazda 3. This is a color if I need to keep one, that's the one I'm going to keep. And then last one up here, this is the Audi e-tron, right? Audi e-tron, yeah. SUV, EV, more EVs. And this is the first factory color done in a German police livery, which I think is great too. Somebody's got to keep these cars on their toes, even though there isn't a speed limit, right? I guess you could get pulled over for being a little reckless. So that's kind of cool to see the e-tron. And they gave it, which is cool, and Matchbox is doing more and more. You got full front grille and headlights, and you got full tail lights. This might be an Audi requirement, but they made it so it's nice and complete. So, I should acknowledge that. It would be a little different if it had blank front and blank back with just this blue Police. All right, let's talk Alfa Romeo. This is blue. It's crazy that it's blue. This is the 1965 Julius Sprint GTA, a classic casting made by Rio Asada, debuted in 2007, I believe. Why is that blue significant? Well, some of you know the story. I will tell it very quickly. The Alfa Romeo Julius Sprint, this actual 1965 GTA, only came in 2 colors in real life. Red, standard bright, Alfa Romeo red, and standard white. Those are the only 2 colors. Well, Matchbox creates this casting. It's beautifully done with the intention, and maybe when they talked to Alfa Romeo at the time, the licensors then, they're like, we're we're hoping that we can do future versions of this casting in different colors. And that whoever was in charge at that point said, fine. As a matter of fact, the very first version, there's Edith. So as a matter of fact, the very first version is from the 2007 Gathering of Friends, and it's in a copper color with racing livery. So they did a racing car, but they didn't do it obviously in the Alfa Romeo red. They did it in copper, and it was clearly approved by Alfa Romeo. Now it's a very rare version. There's not very many examples of this one. I think there's might be maybe 150 of that casting. So that was the first version. Then right about that time that was July of 2007, like I said, this hit the stores. The red Alfa Romeo, the chrome bumpers, chrome interior, obviously to make it like beautifully detailed, Rio Asada design, done in this very, very nice clean red. The recolor and these tri-spoke wheels, the recolor was, of course, going to be the other official color of the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint. So in 2007, they did recolor of the casting, and they did it in plain white. So here we go. Here's where it gets fun. They did a third version. They used to do a first edition 10-pack back then, and so they did fresh colors of the new models. There was a yellow Porsche in there. We'll get to that in a second. But they did the Alfa Romeo in red, but they said okay, and Alfa Romeo said it was okay. We'll do it in red because that's still the official color, but can we do this kind of candy apple color? And Alfa Romeo approved it. So this was the second red version, all released. These four were all released in 2007. So 2008 rolls around, and they're like, all right, time to do new colors. So the first color they did was green, a very nice green that I think other cars, like the Junior and stuff, would be in this color. They went to Alfa Romeo, and they said, hey, what do you think? They said, no. This is a rejected, and it was late. They had already produced it. This was a rejected version of the Alfa Romeo. This is one I acquired way back when. It's a very, very special car in my collection. You might see this green done now because we're seeing other colors, but this one was a rejected color by Alfa Romeo, and it's a cool car to have in my collection. So I have that one there. Well, they said, okay, well then we can't do green. I guess we'll have to do white again. We'll change maybe the license plate on the back or something, and we'll just slightly tweak the color to do more of a pearl white. So they actually did it. They told Alfa Romeo we're going to do a pearl white Alfa Romeo. Very late in the game, because some of these actually got out into the market, said no. The Giulia Sprint was only, so this might be a new licensor maybe. The Giulia Sprint was only produced in white, so we want it in plain white. So Matchbox mid-run changed it from this pearl white color to standard bright white, which is exactly the same as the last version, only the license plate's different. That's the only way you'll know that it's a different version. So fast forward, maybe a year or two later, they're doing a super fast version. They said, well, we'll change up the wheels. We now have these new disc wheels. So we'll do a nice red version. This one's cool because they still have the chrome bumpers, but they actually painted the interior black. And they obviously changed the wheels on this one. So they're like, all right, that's a cool version. It looks different enough. It has more of a premium treatment in Superfast, so that's cool. And they thought that's a really, really nice model. No problem there. It's another red one, but it looks different enough from the other red. Basic comes again. I think this was a basic version. No, it was a best of or something. There was some other line that they were doing. This might have been a year or two later. And they're like, all right, let's do a similar one to the Superfast, put the disc wheels on it, and we'll do it more in that pearl white. We're going to try this again. Alfa Romeo, as you might have guessed, said no. This is the second Alfa Romeo I have. I acquired these two together. This is another rejected model. I think it's got, see, it has this is the best of model that was, I think it was called best of. I cannot remember totally. But you can see that the licenses are exactly the same. But this is the pearl white with the disc wheels that was rejected by Alfa Romeo. So I have these two in my collection. And this is the one that was released plain white back to the disc or to the tri-spoke wheels. So I don't know how these got approved, but they didn't get approved here. Later on, Best of International, they did white again. You notice it's very much plain white, but they put those new two-piece tires that they had on this car, and then we never saw the Giulia Sprint again until a couple years ago. It was released in a 5-pack in gray. Now, I don't know. It still says Giulia Sprint GTA. Maybe a new licensor who said it's cool. Maybe they said, listen, we want to release this casting. It's beautiful, but maybe we can do it in colors of the Junior And maybe that's what Alfa Romeo, but they haven't changed the badging, but Alfa Romeo said okay because they have the gray version, and now we have the blue version, which is very much in the color that we've seen on the Junior. So we might see future colors, obviously. Alfa Romeo seems keen on it. I don't know if we'll see that green. It might make this one less valuable, but that doesn't matter because I know what it is. It's got a great story. But the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint story is fascinating because of Matchbox's frustration trying to get these done. And having these two rejected versions really makes that story interesting. Long, I know, but interesting. Let's keep going. Let's finish off with the Porsche 911 GT3, which has become kind of a granddaddy casting for Matchbox. Released in 2007, another Rio Asada design, done in a million colors and a million variations, different styles. It's been everywhere. It's kind of like the Hot Wheels 993 casting, which has kind of shown up everywhere since the Porsche era in the Mattel world began. So this is just a casting that I love showing. The stories, I don't know if there's as many stories. There are some variations, as you can see. But this 5-pack version that just came out in the Autobahn set is fantastic. And I thought that this might be one to add. So let me just walk you through. I might put a couple on the turntable, but not all of them. Starts with this yellow version. I mentioned that the Alfa Romeo came in a first edition 10-pack. This was the actual first model, or the first color release, because this was the first edition. It was in the final mix of Matchbox in 2007. There was even a recolor in red, or not the final mix, but this one came out. This one ended up coming out before the white version, and it is still up there as one of my favorites, with the gray 10-spoke wheels, this really cool mustard color yellow, and just a beautifully designed model. This one had the plastic spoiler. It was modified later. Just really, really cool. That's one I'll put on the turntable because it just is, it's still, I think, one of the best looking. I'll put the cars that I think are the best looking on the turntable. Moving on, there was the first edition in white. These all had front and rear detailing, recolor in red. We've seen that later on, of course. Then there was a 5-pack. This was actually an Autobahn 5-pack back in like 2008. Another one that I think is just super, super good looking in gray, with the key here is the dark gray 10-spoke wheels. I just think that looks so good, and I just thought this one was really cool. It was really cool. It was all obviously German cars. Actually, maybe that was the VIP. Maybe it was Autobahn. I don't remember. Super fast. There was 2 variations. I got them in blue. This was the super fast wheels, which collectors weren't big fans of. But they did this. I don't know if they ran out of the wheels, but there were these variations. There was a mix of cars. This was one of them that got different wheels, the 10 spokes on the blue. So this was the super fast version with the basic wheels. That was cool. Another 5-pack version. Actually, that might have been a basic. Maybe it was a 5-pack. Then this one came out in gray. These were all basic releases. This was one they started taking the GT3 deco and added it. They removed the detailing from the back, but this is one that I thought was really good looking in black with the red trim. They did get the headlights done, which I think is important. You don't get the taillights, but that's okay. All things considered, how they did it. That black version was cool. Then they did a run of GT3s. The blue with white is beautiful. They did this blue with yellow, with orange rims. I wonder if maybe they ran out of the orange rims, or maybe Porsche said they wanted chrome. I'm not sure. But that blue with the orange rims, awesome. Then there was that following the golden age of Matchbox when they did some ugly cars. And this Matchbox thing is awful. I'm not putting it on the turntable, but look how awful the front is. No headlights. The GT3, this one didn't get headlights either, but the side looked good. But this just was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I have it just as a completist. This was some premium version, pretty cool. They put the GT3 deco on it, which looks nice. This one is ugly. No headlights or anything, and I just didn't like this extra striping that they added to that one. Then they started going back to doing them clean again. They still had, Matchbox was playing around with the tampos at some point, and they couldn't do the tampo passes as they wanted to, so it kind of broke off the taillights on this. But you can see it's a much better looking car with the black 5 spokes with the orange rims. This one actually was a premium version. It wasn't Lesney. I can't remember what they called this one. Maybe they called it Superfast. In this Spectraflame orange that they did. A lot of people were looking for that one. They put Hot Wheels Real Riders on it. Then they get to this duo of 9-pack models, and I'll definitely put these on the turntable. These, along with the yellow, are my favorite versions. This bright blue with the white rims is so good looking. And they were, at this time, they were releasing 9-packs with 2 different colors of the cars, almost releasing them at the same time. So you would look for both packs. Obviously, you had to buy a 9-pack, but you'd get these 2 exclusives that were the same casting in different colors. And these Porsches were just fantastic. Blue with the white rims, that might be my favorite one. And then this really nice purple with black rims, both 5-spokes. Just really good looking. They get the tail lights, they get the headlights. They were just super, super clean. Love the colors on those. Then they followed up with this red version, which is nice. I'll just kind of leave it there. Then there's the Chase, one of the very first Matchbox chases they did. Obviously, we're getting into the recent times. And then they've revisited, well, they did another great color. This is from the Porsche set that they released in bright green with the black rims. I think that's turntable worthy. I think it's really good looking. It's a nice fit with the 2 9-pack models. And then we just saw recently released this white version with black rims. And as I've mentioned 1,000 times, white cars with black rims, winner, winner, winner. That one is fantastic and kind of a recolor of the very first white that was released. So now we have this one. Such a different color in this brown color. It's not the sporty, sharp, like kind of showy color that any of these others are. But it's a kind of an understated brown, and I absolutely love it. It does have the metal spoiler. When did the metal spoiler start? I think it started with the 9-pack models, and now we have it. But you get everything in the same color, so no complaints there. There's a nice gap in the spoiler, so it looks really, really good. And the fact that they're doing full tampos, full wraparound taillights. This casting continues to be fantastic, this Rio Asada original, and I have now completed an entire side of Porsche 911 GT3s, from the very, very ugly to the absolute stunning cars. There's so many good cars. This, if you can, and I don't think there's anything that's outlandishly expensive, this is a great casting to pursue as a full collection. You might have to, some of them might be harder to find now. This variation might be, but I don't know. I'd have to go look on eBay or something like that. But it's a fun casting to collect. You guys tell me what you think. This was an extensive look at some 5-packs because I thought there were some real highlights there. And this was really fun to do. And I love telling these stories. So I'll do more of it if you'd like. Thanks, everybody. Bye.